This project was the compilation of a database of high-quality images of pome fruit disorders. I'm Dr. Ian Crouch from Experico. Initially, the South African fruit industry was approached by an international company to contribute to a disorder database. The aim was to create a worldwide database that will include descriptions by photos of disorders in different stages of severity, photographs at the microscopic level, and information about parasitic diseases in cooperation with the University of Botswana. This EU partnership didn't realize, but the project was supported at the South African local level. This trial has now been running for 2 seasons, with 2020 the final year of the project. The ultimate aim is to produce a high-quality publication and an app to allow easy identification of fruit disorders. However, this stage of the project will only happen from 2021 and beyond. So the objective was the compilation of an extensive database of high-quality images, representing as many pome disorders as possible. This project expanded to any damaged fruit, and so also included pests and diseases. As most of the samples came from the Experico laboratory, photographs were also recorded across fruit kinds, and so also included some stone fruit and table grapes. A form was distributed to the industry requesting samples of disorders to be sent to Experico, accompanied with a full case history. However, very few samples arrived with a completed form. The initiation of the storage group addressed many disorders and problems presented by the industry. Where possible, some of these samples were sent to Experico, photographed and recorded. However, most examples of disorders were sourced and photographed from the Experico lab. The storage group has been a very useful tool in disorder identification and is supported by a wealth of knowledge across the industry. Members of this group may also be called upon to aid in the identification of the disorders during the final output of the image library. High-definition professional quality photographs were taken with a 24 megapixel camera fitted with a 60mm macro lens using sophisticated flash photography and augmented lighting. Fruit were photographed at different planes and detail of the disorder recorded in the library. Images were color corrected as close to the original samples using specialized software. In this slide, examples of bitter pit on Kanzi apples is illustrated using different planes, sections and angles to show that the disorder is distributed below the skin surface and is also present throughout the cortex of the fruit. Here we have examples of internal carbon dioxide injury demonstrated in a Fuji apple and a Farol pear. This injury is evidenced by the characteristic necrotic brown cavities in the cortical tissue of the fruit. The photograph is taken across several planes to clearly illustrate this disorder. In this slide, several examples of different disorders are illustrated that include superficial scald on a Granny Smith apple, bitter pit on a red apple, core flush in a Granny Smith apple, water core in a Fuji apple, and cork spot in an Abate Fatale pear. Although not originally part of this project, any fruit received with pest or disease damage was photographed and recorded. This slide shows an example of a pear with decay and a close-up of the decay detail. The second example shows an apple with a red disorder on the skin. Closer inspections confirmed that this was a classic symptom of fruit with scale. This was confirmed in the close-up photograph. So in conclusion, what images are still needed? Any excellent example of a disorder showing diagnostic features of that particular disorder. Any disorder on new varieties. Disorders from other fruit types such as stone, citrus, subtropicals or berries. Examples of pests and diseases across fruit kinds. And any missing examples of the disorders as listed in the notes below. But what is still needed from the industry? Support for the next stage of this work, whereby the library of images are correctly identified and put into a suitable output format, such as an app or a publication. I would like to thank all packhouses, producers and members of the storage group that have contributed samples to this project, and to Hort Grow Science for funding. Thank you.